El deterioro, tanto físico como cognitivo de Donald Trump, ya es inevitable, es innegable. Donald Trump ya no puede taparse las manos para que no se le vean los morados. Donald Trump ya no puede ocultar sus tobillos hinchados del resto del mundo. Su declive es totalmente evidente y ya todo el mundo se dio cuenta. Y la última persona en salir afectada por culpa de este declive cognitivo de Donald Trump es su propia esposa, Melania Trump. Sí, exactamente, Melania Trump acaba de salir completamente humillada por la pérdida de cordura de Donald Trump. Ahora, antes de entrar en cómo Donald Trump humilló por completo a su esposa, quiero comenzar con alguien en los medios MAGA que ha aceptado que Donald Trump sí tiene un deterioro cognitivo y deterioro físico. Y esto fue analizado por Tim Miller y por Tommy Vietor. Miren el clip, por favor.
Alex Jones, aforementioned Alex Jones, has some concerns about his president that I'd like to share with you.
Trump has got great genetics. He's tough. And if he takes care of himself, he can make it through these years and then after. But if he doesn't, he's going to have, I predict Trump is going to have some type of collapse within the next 12 months at the current trajectory.
So he's going to, a collapse is coming in the next 12 months for Trump.
Did you watch this whole segment, by the way?
I've got more. More is to come. First, I want to know if you have any thoughts about the collapse coming in the next 12 months.
It sounds exciting. First, I'm thrilled to hear it. Alex Jones was ahead of the curve probably on all things Biden's health. Unfortunately,
that's true.
We should probably admit that.
That's a good point.
We should probably admit that.
The ankles from Alaska, they're straight on shot. They are big. They are swollen. I mean, they are like really big. I mean, they look like my neck's 19 and a half inches.
That's a big neck.
Like that. His ankles look like they're about 15 inches around. That's not a good sign for the heart and the rest of the body because the rest of him, he's lost weight. He's not that fat. So Trump really needs to exercise and take care of himself. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, someone make a TikTok audio out of that. That is good.
Please.
The cankles are getting fucking thick.
Cuando incluso Alex Jones puede reconocer que Donald Trump se encuentra en un declive cognitivo total, ya es sorprendente y es mucho hablar. Aunque bueno, Alex Jones tampoco es que se vea súper bien. Y esto está muy mal para Donald porque ya todos pueden verlo. Todos pueden ver cómo el presidente de Estados Unidos se encuentra en un grave deterioro cognitivo. Bueno, todos pueden verlo menos los medios tradicionales, que estos sí siguen diciendo que Donald Trump se encuentra muy bien y prefieren hablar de cualquier otra cosa para cambiar el tema. Incluso prefieren hablar de la decadencia cognitiva del expresidente Joe Biden antes que tocar la verdadera decadencia cognitiva del actual presidente de Estados Unidos, Donald Trump. Pero no te preocupes, aquí nunca vas a encontrar una mentira y siempre te voy a traer la realidad de lo que está pasando día a día. Y actualmente lo que está pasando es que Donald Trump es incapaz de cumplir sus actos como presidente, pues realmente se encuentra con un gran problema mental, y es que tiene un deterioro cognitivo provocado por su edad. También tenemos que recordar que Donald Trump se ha negado completa y rotundamente a hablar sobre el tema de su deterioro cognitivo como debería de hacerlo. Como Donald Trump está atacando de forma tan agresiva a sus enemigos políticos, mientras en campaña dijo todo lo contrario. Y todo esto se conecta con lo que dijo sobre su esposa Melania. Así que lo primero que tenemos que ver es qué dijo Jamie Raskin desglosando lo que pasó con Donald Trump y su ataque a John Bolton. Miren el clip, por favor.
Look, this episode is disturbing, and it seems to confirm Bolton's own prediction that if Donald Trump got back into office, his administration would be consumed with vengeance and retribution against his perceived political enemies. They stripped John Bolton of his security detail on the first day of the administration, I believe. They stripped him of his security clearance. He was listed on Kash Patel's so-called enemies list. And it seems as if perhaps the president was not pleased with what Bolton was saying during the course of the big summit with Vladimir Putin here in the United States in Alaska. And he was reminding everybody that Vladimir Putin had one goal, which was to capture Ukraine and reabsorb it into the newly reconstituted Russian Empire. So obviously that got on Donald Trump's nerves, and I think we can see the result of it here. At least, based on the information I've got, this looks like it's very much in line with the other acts of political retribution and vengeance exacted against Bolton.
Así que aparentemente lo que puso de buen humor a Donald Trump fue esta redada que tuvo contra John Bolton. Porque claro, hemos visto a Donald Trump muy enojado y muy callado, pues le ha explotado en la cara todo el tema de su relación con Jeffrey Epstein y con todos estos actos criminales. Pero esta vez, este ataque contra John Bolton no le salió tan bien como él pensaba. No solo porque se demostró qué tan mal estaba Donald Trump y que estaba abusando obviamente de sus poderes como presidente, sino porque todo finalmente se volvió contra Melania, su esposa. Esto lo podemos ver en un reciente comentario muy perturbador. Acompáñenme. Donald Trump hace una broma de mal gusto sobre los cajones de su esposa. Los comentarios del presidente surgieron en respuesta a una pregunta sobre las redadas del FBI en la casa de John Bolton. Donald Trump hizo una broma de mal gusto sobre el FBI revisando los cajones de su esposa mientras intentaba distanciarse de la redada contra el ex asesor de seguridad nacional John Bolton. Hablando en la oficina oval después de que los agentes descendieran sobre la casa de Bolton en Maryland el viernes por la mañana. Donald Trump insistió una vez más en que no tenía nada que ver con la investigación contra su antiguo enemigo, pero el presidente también mencionó la redada que el FBI realizó en su residencia en Mar-a-Lago en agosto del 2022, cuando el entonces candidato republicano era objeto de una investigación del Departamento de Justicia de Joe Biden por el presunto mal manejo de documentos clasificados. Donald Trump estaba furioso por la ejecución de la orden de registro en ese momento, alegando que los agentes del FBI habían hurgado en la ropa de la primera dama Melania Trump y en sus objetos personales. Luego dejaron el área hecho un desastre, pero al relatar el episodio el viernes, el presidente hizo una broma algo inapropiada, diciendo a los reporteros: revisaron todo lo que pudieron, incluyendo la habitación de mi hijo pequeño y el área de mi esposa. Revisaron sus cajones, como dice la expresión. Ella es muy ordenada y ya sabes, es meticulosa, agregó Donald Trump cuando ella regresó y miró: wow, esto no estaba como yo lo tenía, así que sé cómo se siente. No es una buena sensación. La redada en Mar-a-Lago eventualmente llevó a que Donald Trump fuera acusado de 37 cargos federales, la mayoría relacionados con la retención intencional de material clasificado en violación de la ley de espionaje. Aunque no está completamente relacionado, como tal sí lo está. El hecho de que Donald Trump diga que estas personas revisaron el área de Melania indica que no viven juntos. Esto deja pensar con claridad que en la casa de Donald Trump hay un cuarto para Donald y hay otro cuarto para Melania, o sea que prácticamente viven separados. Pero relacionado con el tema de los documentos, este es un tema que Donald Trump sabe perfectamente cómo encubrir. Y por esa misma razón, Rokan ha sido muy firme al hablar sobre los documentos de Jeffrey Epstein que involucran a Donald Trump. Miren el clip, por favor.
We're trying to get justice for the victims and transparency for America. The president should say, I ran on this, the attorney general promised this, we're going to do a clean, full release.
That was California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna and Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie after Speaker Mike Johnson sent Congress into recess last month. Remember that? Instead of holding a vote to compel the Department of Justice to publicly release files relating to now deceased convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Well, today, as the House Oversight Committee got its first batch of Epstein documents, members in both parties are still looking for more answers. And joining me now is Congressman Ro Khanna, Democrat from California, member of the House Oversight Committee. All right, you got the transcript of the Maxwell interview and the recording and some documents, so fully transparent and we're done, right? Everything all good?
Well, Donald Trump is out there saying, release the Epstein files, and then he's calling himself the chief law enforcement officer, but he's not releasing the Epstein files. We got less than 1%, you know? I mean, we got less than 1% of the documents. The FBI said there are 300 gigabytes of these documents. We got 1 gigabyte, about 33,000 pages. To put that in perspective, usually in a major investigation, you get about 1 million pages, and most of these pages are already public documents. So they're stonewalling. What we really need to do when we come back is have a vote on Massie and my bill to force the release. The Speaker, as you mentioned, shut down Congress to avoid that vote, but he's not going to keep shutting down Congress. We just need to vote on that.
That point, it's an important point, right? Because we're long past the AG is independent, the Department of Justice. Trump does everything flows from him. He said this morning he kind of hedged a little bit in his sort of classic self-contradictory way. But here's what he said about the documents and how he said he told his attorney general to, quote, give them everything. Take a listen.
I have said to Pam and everybody else, give them everything you can give them because it's a Democrat hoax.
It's a Democrat hoax. Are you confident that everything will come over, or do you think they're just blowing smoke?
Well, so far they've been blowing smoke. We got less than 1% of the documents. And, this is not just Democrats. This is Massey. This is Boebert. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is Tim Burchett. It's like the all-star lineup of the MAGA movement that's demanding this. Even Kevin Comer, the oversight chair, is demanding this. So the reality is that Trump is saying one thing because he knows that his base wants to hear that. But obviously he hasn't told Pam Bondi to do that because they haven't released the documents and they're just still hoping this thing just goes away. It's not going to go away.
I want to play you a little clip of this Ghislaine Maxwell interview. Again, I think we've been pretty focused on what one's assessment of its credibility should be. She says that she never saw Trump do anything untoward, that he was a perfect gentleman, also that he was always kind to her and she admires him and what he's been able to accomplish, that she never saw Jeffrey Epstein engage in any non-consensual anything, that the massages weren't sexual. Here she says she kind of has exculpatory account for everyone. Take a listen to this one sentence she says.
I never, ever saw any man doing something inappropriate with a woman of any age.
To remind everyone, that's Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice. I never, ever saw any man doing something inappropriate with a woman of any age. Do you find that credible?
I'm usually pretty even-keeled, but I was so offended and outraged when I heard her say that. And the reason is I've been in touch with the victims' lawyers. 10 of them are going to actually be sharing their stories on September 3rd. I mean, it is so offensive, so insulting to the hundreds of victims who our country has sidelined for years. They haven't been centered. And for Maxwell to get up there and say that nothing was done to them, I mean, she's going to be shocked when she hears the stories on September 3rd. But I'm so angered for the victims whose stories and testimony is being dismissed.
We also do know, I mean, part of the thing about these files, right, we do know, at least from reporting, that the department that flagged mentions of him and that he was told in May his name is among many in the Epstein files. I mean, one of the tests, it seems to me, is like whether we see anything in these files we haven't seen before that mentions Donald Trump, frankly.
Absolutely. And we also have a subpoena to the Epstein estate to get the birthday book. But you notice how Trump, he says, well, I want to release everything, but I'm really concerned because some of my friends and some of the people I know may be mentioned in these files. Yeah. Really? That's your concern? The embarrassment of your buddies as opposed to justice and closure for the victims? I mean, it is just absurd at this point. And this is the one issue where his base is pushing back. I mean, they haven't pushed back on deporting people without due process. They haven't pushed back on taking away cancer research. They haven't pushed back on cutting Medicaid. But here they're pushing back, and that's what's got him concerned.
Esto es exactamente lo que necesitamos de los demócratas todo el tiempo. Que no abandonen el punto, que no tengan miedo y que siempre digan las cosas claras, fuertes y directas. No dejen de mencionar a Epstein, no permitan que Donald Trump consiga que la gente se olvide de todo esto, pues recuerden, si Donald Trump es encontrado culpable de todos estos crímenes, él sencillamente ya no podría ser presidente. Pero bueno, yo cumplí con mi misión, que es informarte como lo hago todos los días. Ya sabes que si te gusta el contenido de mis videos, te agradecería de todo corazón que me lo digas en los comentarios y si puedes que te suscribas al canal. Como te lo he dicho varias veces, si te gusta el contenido de política estadounidense, te gusta saber lo que está pasando en Estados Unidos, te va a encantar suscribirte al canal, ya que subo videos todos los días. Mi nombre es José Alvarado, soy economista y estoy comprometido a informarte diariamente. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. Adiós.